Alright, guys and girls, I think we need to have a discussion. And you've probably heard this about 5 billion times here on the channel, but people just don't seem to get the fucking idea. Right? People are stupid. Now, what is happening? Well, for those of you that don't know what's happening, a few days ago, a school just got shot up. It sucks, you know, another school shooting basically happened. And, you know, so I'm going through the comments and of what people thought on the whole thing. A lot of people are the same way. Yeah, you know, it sucks, it's sad, you know, thoughts and prayers and shit like that. Now, okay, I actually have multiple things to say about that in this video. First things first, thoughts and prayers do nothing. Alright, I understand the meaning behind it, you know. They say thoughts and prayers because they know they can't really do shit where they stand, you know, what they're doing. They can't really do anything. So it's like, yeah, we're thinking about all of you and whatever. But, you know, thoughts and prayers aren't going to get rid of the issue. It's probably going to make it worse. I don't know. Who cares, right? Thoughts and prayers do nothing. But this is what really pisses me off the most. So I'm going through the comments, and this one bitch on Facebook, you know who you are if you're watching this video, says that kids keep playing video games that are so real looking to blow people's heads off, and this is what they are programmed to do. Great parenting. Basically, they're blaming video games on this. Yeah. Whoopity fucking shit do, okay? Like, video games have nothing to do with this at all. It doesn't matter if the shooter played a video game or two before he committed the crime. It doesn't matter. Video games did not do it, okay? Video games are a tool for enter-fucking-tainment. Do you have any idea what entertainment is? Or are you just that fucking stupid to think that video games do everything? Oh, video games killed my husband, my wife, killed my dog. Video games, you know, they cause school shootings. Video games cause violence. Video games do this, video games do that. When are you going to stop being this fucking stupid? I am tired and sick of everybody blaming video games. Do you have any fucking idea how hard it is to fucking just talk to people about this? Because everybody wants to be like, yeah, you know, it's the video game's fault. It's always the video game's fault. Nobody ever wants to take responsibility, okay? Nobody ever wants to talk about, oh yeah, you know, maybe it's not the video games like everybody else is saying. Maybe it's the fucking goddamn sons of bitching bad parenting that's going on within the household. Maybe it's the problem with the school. You know, bullying is a big issue right now. Has always pretty much been a big issue. Maybe the kid thought that maybe it would be fun to kill people. Who knows what school shooters go through? Like, what goes on at the household that causes them to act this way towards their, you know, schoolmates? What makes people explode? What makes people actually do these things? It really pisses me off to think that everybody is like, oh yeah, video games. And anybody with a fucking actual functioning brain cell can figure out that that's complete bullshit. Video games are nothing but entertainment. They're not this horrible thing. They never were this horrible thing. But all these stupid, useless people, the media, you know, politicians, the media, parents, you know, these fucking useless sacks of shit who know nothing about what is happening in our society tends to always blame video games for this. Why? I mean, as we're getting right here, I am about to basically make some points. And honestly, these points should be brought up more often. Whenever someone is like, yeah, well, video games do this, video games do that. They need to wake up and see that what they're saying is absolute diarrhea bullshit. And that these games don't cause issues. I am sick of it. I am tired. I I just can't believe half the shit I'm reading most of the times. These people have to be fucking trolls. There's no way this many people could be so ignorant and dumb. Alright, so here's what I said. I'm gonna pause the game for a little bit because I gotta read this and not focus on dying. Video games don't cause violence. It's actually mental health and bad parenting along with bullying that causes the issues that you see. I've been playing video games since I was 2, and never have I ever wanted to murder innocent lives. And some other idiot passes by and is like, well, yeah, since it hasn't affected you in that way, I guess it has to be true for everybody. Think. Okay, dumbass, that was not exactly what I was saying. What I'm basically trying to say is that, you know, it's bad parenting that's a lot of the issues. And, you know, no one ever thinks to look for the signs that your kid or any other family member, aunt, uncle, mother, father, you know, even you. Nobody ever thinks about the signs that lead to all of these issues that could happen. I mean, you know, what was going on at school, right? What was going on at school to make the child this way? To make them think that it would be cool to kill everybody, you know, to try to shoot up an entire building. What went on through that child's brain that makes them think it was okay? Was it bullying that was going on? If so, I would actually like to hold the school accountable, because the school could have prevented it. The school could have been like, hey, you know, don't bully this student, you know, and don't do this, don't do that, you know. He didn't do anything to deserve being bullied. And a lot of the cases, children do nothing to deserve getting bullied. It's just that these other children, these dumb kids, are like, oh yeah, it's a good idea to bully someone because, you know, we have nothing better to do with our lives, so let's belittle someone. Let's turn them into a piece of shit. Let's make them feel worse than they already are. You know, and who knows what went on at home. Because sometimes it's not even the school's fault. It's the fault of the parents. As I'm saying before, bad parenting a lot of the times is the reason. You know, parents, like, even if the child never played video games in their life, ever, the fact still remains that these parents clearly did nothing right. To the point where someone thought it'd be a good idea to shoot up the school, and the parents did really, nobody did anything about it. The school did nothing about it. You know, the parents did nothing about it. The, you know, staff, everybody. Nobody did a damn thing about it. Until it was too late. And now everybody just wants to blame video games for this thing. Oh yeah, it's the game's fault. Yeah, you know, let's blame video games. You know, they got video games nowadays where you shoot off the heads of people. Yeah, but they also have games like Mario, Pokemon, Zelda, Wii Sports Resort, World of Warcraft, let's see, Fable, all your sports games like FIFA and NASCAR and shit like that. You have games like, you know, Fire Emblem that don't have guns in them. A lot of games don't have guns in them. It's not, you know, not every game in existence is this violent, right? So, yeah, I don't know what kind of drugs you're smoking. You've never played a fucking video game in your life, I bet. But it's really stupid to think that there's so many people out there that think that video games are this pandemic, that they're this evil thing that... And it really pisses me off. I hate seeing this. I really do. It's people like that that give video games a bad name. Not the children, but the parents and the media. And honestly, adults that don't know shit. People in their fucking 50s and 60s that don't know a damn thing about how technology is. I mean, think about it. what video game is this bad? In reality, video games are not bad at all. They're a way to prevent people from going mentally nuts, okay? I mean, okay. If I never played video games, guess where I would probably be right now? I'd be killing people. Because I have had a lot of shit happen in my life. And I mean a lot of shit. So much shit you don't even know half of it. Right? I'm still going through shit. Video games are a way to escape this bullshit reality. Right? A way to better ourselves as people, to prevent things like this from happening. Because it keeps our minds occupied. Video games, like I keep saying, are entertainment. They are not tools for fucking destruction. They are not mass destruction. They are not weapons or tools of mass destruction. I've heard it all on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I've heard it all at this point. Oh yeah, it's the video game's fault here that, you know, there's violence in the streets, there's violence at school, there's bullying problems. It's not the problem with the children, you know, children are sacred creatures, you know. Children are our future. Yes, I suppose so. But not every single child, every child on this planet is not the same. Some are better than others. And some people, some parents hold their children to a high standard, saying that they are the best things ever, and that if you talk shit about them, you're a bad person. When you always know that's not the case. Children bully, okay? I've been bullied when I was in school. I've been bullied for a lot of things. And when I was in high school, I was bullied as well. Not as much as when I was in middle school and elementary school, but I was fucking bullied as well in high school. Because I like My Little Pony and shit like that. I'm still getting bullied to this day by our fucking neighbors and shit like that because they're fucking pussies. But that's beside the point. The point is, you know, bullying happens in schools all over the place. Sure, you can't exactly get rid of the problem that easily. There are different ways to get around it, to fix the problem. But there needs to be a lot of things that need to change, right? But, as I was saying, you know, I'm tired of people blaming things on video games. You need to take a look at social media. Social media might be doing this to the children because of the things that they see online. And maybe it's not really the children, like the child itself, but rather there might have been a child at school, someone at school, because I've heard this before. When I was in school, some children would be like, hey, why don't you go grab a gun and start shooting people? So some kids might be pressured into committing these crimes by other students. Not exactly in the way of bullying, but just be like, hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. You're only cool if you take the lives of other people. Like, maybe that could happen. You don't know what goes on through the minds of these people. Right? You don't even know what goes on through the minds of your own damn self. Why would you even know what goes on through the minds of children? A lot of children nowadays, they don't open up. They're not like, yeah, well, I'm being bullied at school, you know. There's this one kid, you know, he's a real asshole, you know. Like, children, they're smart, right? Some of them. And some children, they know they know what to do, and they know, you know, not to tell their parents anything if they don't feel safe at their own house, or feel safe to tell people. That's why so much bullying in schools happen, because children are afraid to actually speak out against it. But, you know, it really sucks that this happens. But one thing I know for a damn fact, stop blaming things on video games, alright? There is a bigger issue at hand than that. And so I've said to this guy who said that, you know, since it hasn't affected me in that way, I guess it has to be true for everyone. I said that's not what I was saying. You know what I was saying? If parents don't teach children right from wrong, it could affect many things. And not every child is a gamer. That's true. I had some friends in school that were not gamers at all. They've never played a single video game in their life, right? And if they did, it was so minor and microscopic, and they didn't do it every single day. The ones that are should be taught at a young age that if it's a video, okay. The ones that are gamers should be taught at a young age that it's a video game and should not be mimicked in reality. Not every child is taught right from wrong. I blame the parents as well as the school, because the school did nothing to prevent this, right? I mean, there are days it's like, how could they prevent things like this from happening? But, you know, some of these things could be avoided if the parents or the teachers or staff, you know, principal even, knew the signs. If people knew the signs, there are signs that suggest that things are about to happen. You know, I mean, who knows what these shooters go through at home and at school? Video games are entertainment, not a tool used for violence. And besides, what about games like Mario or Pokemon, or hell, even Wii Sports? Not every game is violent. It's all about how these children are raised. Mental health is a huge issue in America, and nobody does anything about it. Instead, they'd rather blame video games instead of use their brain. And am I wrong? No. Am I wrong? No, I am not wrong. Mental health and mental illness they go hand in hand. They're mostly the same thing. You know, they are a huge ass problem. Parenting, bad parenting is a big problem here in the US, right? A lot of parents don't even do their jobs right. They don't know how to parent their children, right? Which, honestly, if you don't know how to parent a child, then why do you even have one? Just put it up for adoption, or, you know, do something else with it. You know, don't have a child if you're not ready to have a child. If you don't know what you're doing, then don't have one. Or if you're only going, I know people like this. If you're going to have a child just as a product, as some tool, and you don't really care about that child, you shouldn't have children either. But, you know, it's bad parenting that's a big problem here in the US. Guns are a big problem here in the US. Mental health and illness are problems in the US. Fucking humongous problems. There are so many people that are psychopaths, and nothing really gets done about it. You know, there are people who do these things because they were never taught right from wrong, and if they were, even just a little bit, this could have been prevented slightly, or, you know, all the time. You don't know how many people are struggling through with mental illness problems. Some would say I'm struggling with that. In a way, yeah. But I'm not as bad as other people who have it way worse than I do. And those are the people you gotta watch out for. If you suspect someone in your family is a psychopath, or, you know, struggling with some form of mental illness or whatever, don't have guns. Okay? And if you do have guns, keep them as far away from these people as possible. I mean, you wouldn't let a toddler around a fucking, you know, shotgun, right? You wouldn't let a toddler near a M1911 or some other handgun or pistol. You wouldn't let a toddler near a revolver. So why would you allow someone who's insane, who could very well use these weapons to kill people, why would you let them near them? That's what I don't get. Hell, why do you even have them in the first place? I mean, yeah, use them to defend your home, but what if you have to defend your home against your own family? Against people that are psycho? People that have issues? A lot of people here in the US have issues. And some are saying, oh, but a lot of other people in other countries have issues too. You know, Japan, China, Russia, the Ukraine, you know, other areas. Yes, but look at the statistics. How many violence, how much gun violence do you see in other countries? Not caused by war, but rather just like, you know, school shootings or in general, violence with guns. How often do you see that in other countries? Look at the statistics, people. Look at the statistics. There is clearly something wrong with the US. We are the leading cause of death in the world, pretty much. We are number one at a lot of things we should not be. We should not be number one in the amount of school shootings every year, or in general. We shouldn't be number one in the amount of deaths caused by gun violence in America. We shouldn't be number one in the amount of fucking children dead. Do you understand what I'm trying to fucking get at here? Instead of blaming the video games for all of this, look deeper into it. Look at the mental health problems. Look at the bad parenting that could potentially be going on. Look at the bullying problems that are happening in our schools right now. And that have been going on for a long ass time. Look at all of these problems. And you will find out it's not the game's fault. But instead, you know, you'd rather be fucking ignorant, right? These people, they're like, oh yeah, I mean, mental health isn't even a thing. There's no such thing as mental illness. Motherfucker, look outside your window. Look at the news. Look at everything. Look at all these dead children. Because some kid or adult had access to a gun and thought it would be a good idea to kill people. Innocent people. Innocent lives were taken. And have been taken for a long ass time. How many more children have to fucking die before something gets done about it? I'm fucking pissed by this. Like, you know, people are blaming our fucking hobbies. Things that we enjoy doing a lot. You know, video games and things like that. You know, they're like, oh yeah, it's the video game's fault that all these children are psychopaths. No, you retard. Just fucking take a look. Video games are not what you think they are. They're not this tool for destruction like I keep saying. It's true. It's true. They're not bad. They're good.
Look, I need the power back on.
And as long as,
Guess what it is?
you know,
I'll even put a big bow on her head.
I mean, just look at it in a good way.
Let's go get back to this.
Video games are not bad. Fuck. I hate people. I really despise civilization. Thinking that this whole world is against video games, when honestly I think they are. You know, how many people have you heard say that video games cause violence? How many of them do you see and you hear say these things? All the fucking time.
Add it to my body count.
And also, if you're going to blame video games, why not blame the movies that kids are potentially watching? Blame the music that they listen to. Do you have any idea how many rap songs involve raping and abuse and treating people like shit and guns and this like that? I mean, why are video games pretty much the only thing that people talk about? Is it because more people are playing video games than listening to music? I mean, if you look into some of these things, you will find out that it is not the games. it sucks. It really does. It's just so pathetic seeing so many people believe in this lie. And honestly, I feel like somewhere, some way along the line, someone is trolling. They're like, yeah, video games cause violence. They've always caused violence. You know, video games are this pandemic that needs to die and things like that.
One more for my body count.
But do they ever actually think? Do they ever actually use their fucking brains? Oh wait, they don't have brains, so how could they use them if they don't have them? I don't know. But it's honestly sad to see so many people are against video games. Oh, you know, it sucks. And it also sucks that so many people have to die and nothing gets done about it. 9 times out of 10, nothing gets done about it. I mean, what family actually needs an assault rifle? Who the fuck needs an AR-15 unless you're in the military? You shouldn't have access to military-grade weaponry like that. You shouldn't have assault rifles or rocket launchers or anything like that. Shotguns are pushing it, right? Rifles for hunting, I get it. Maybe a pistol or two to defend your house. That's all you need. You don't need an assault rifle. You don't need a rocket launcher. You don't need, you know, you don't need all these things that are widely available. I mean, shit. And honestly, you know, I'm not joking when I'm saying this. I think we should just get rid of guns altogether. Let's go back to using swords. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Go back to actually using swords and shit. Swords, knives, you know, things like that. Go back to the olden days. I mean, yeah, guns or whatever, but I think, honestly, if you have a sword, or if you have a machete or something like that, you are better than people that have guns. Because it's all up close and personal. With a gun, you can shoot from and kill someone from a distance. But with a sword or a knife or something, you are up in that person's face. You have to get closer to them to actually strike. Which proves you are stronger and you got bigger balls than other people. I think guns are for pussies, unless you're in the military. Like, if you're in the military, good. You know, I mean, how else do you think we'd fucking defend our country from invaders? But for regular common folk like us, we don't need guns. If you're going to defend your fucking property from an invader, use a knife, a sword, machete. You don't need a gun. That's only going to cause more problems down the line. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. They're going to start hating on me because, oh, you're against guns. Well, I mean, I kind of think guns were a horrible concept to begin with. Sure, it's good to defend your house against people that want you dead, or that want to steal your shit, or whatever. You know, invaders. But at the same time, there's other ways of disposing of them. Again, knives come to mind. It makes it that much more personal. But anyways, guys and gals, my thoughts on the whole damn thing, it's really pissing me off that people all the time are blaming video games instead of actually using their fucking brain holes, you know, on all this. And it sucks that nobody is actually thinking with their minds that, you know, maybe it's not the game's fault. Maybe it's mental health. Maybe it's the huge access to guns that we have here in the US. Maybe it's people's obsession with guns. That's another thing. A lot of people around here where I live seem to be obsessed with hunting and guns in general. Like, what the fuck? It really makes no sense in the grand scheme of things. I mean, 9 school shootings out of 10. Hell, let's go with 10 out of 10. They can all be avoided. All of these dead children could have been avoided. And it wouldn't be such a fucking tragedy if it never happened. But the sad truth is, there are a bunch of dead children. The future of our world is dying because some idiots, some fucking dumbasses, some mentally fucked up people take them away from us. Without these children, what do we have? You know, these kids that are dead now, those were someone's brother or sister. That was someone's daughter or son. Someone's grandchildren. Some of these kids could very well be lucky because their family can't really make children, and somehow they made, 1 or 2 children, but that's it. So you're killing whole bloodlines potentially, only because you're sick. And America is no different, alright? And honestly, you have people who, they just don't care. They don't care about our future. They don't care about future children. They don't care about anybody but themselves and all the money they're making from this. And you know someone's making money from it. Sucks. It really does. But anyways, guys and gals, that's it. I'm done. No one cares anymore. Just fuck. I really don't get it. It's just not right. But anyways, as always, I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Let's hope this shit will end soon. Hopefully things will get better. Hopefully no more children have to die. Peace out, people, and bro hoof.